Today is New Year's Eve, the 31st December 2022, and all through the year that has passed, those with wisdom have practiced and built goodness. This goodness we can call merit. It is the giving of dana, keeping the 5 moral precepts, or on the weekly observance days, keeping the 8 precepts. It is the offering of sanghadana and the practice of developing samadhi, concentration, which we call bhavana, meditation or cultivating the mind. This bhavana is what makes the mind progress higher. And each time we get to the end of the year, everyone aspires for progress and prosperity. The children have progress and improvement in their learning and studies. They accomplish their knowledge so that they can have expertise and an occupation to support themselves and have a livelihood in this world. Those who are working in their jobs, they progress their work to be better in stages. They have more skill and know-how in their various fields. But in regards to this mind, there are just a few that understand or see the benefit of bhavana, which progresses the mind higher. And if we don't have bhavana or practice, then this mind won't be able to have radiance and have inner happiness. Like in this world, it is the same. If we don't learn, we stay indifferent, then it will be impossible for us to gain any wisdom in learning and working. We need to have training and searching for knowledge by listening to others and from our thinking, and then taking these to practice with. Bhavana is the same. When we see the drawbacks of the chaos in the mind, then the monks will aspire to have peace and happiness in the heart. Some people can see their mind has too much distracted thinking until it becomes all chaotic inside. They can't find any peace and happiness. But when we see the drawbacks of this, then we want peace. We find the path and method to train in. We gain the knowledge that to make the mind peaceful, we must develop a kammatthana bhavana, a meditation object, following what the Buddha has taught. In practicing dana and sila, it has the benefit of peace of body and mind. But the heart that still has distracted thoughts needs to have a kammatthana, meditation object. And we have heard that those who develop kammatthana, they are old-fashioned and out of date. Here the Buddha has attained parinibbana for 2,565 years now already, but the Buddha's teachings are still up to date. Whoever practices kammatthana, trains the mind to be peaceful, will gain inner happiness and joy, and inner ease, which we call merit, or it is the foremost merit. All our meritorious actions have a lot of benefits, but the merit that has even more benefit is the merit that comes from bhavana, making the mind peaceful, and it progresses to wisdom and to knowledge. It can be knowledge in learning, knowledge in doing work and responsibilities, where it brings more benefit. And when it is the deeper knowledge of the teachings of the Samma Sambuddha, the perfectly self-awakened Buddha, then we will have wisdom to understand and see the truth of all things that are emptiness. This is entering into the heartwood of the teachings. And sometimes we will gain a taste of the Dhamma. We understand deeply into the truth that all things that are rupa, material, and nama, mental phenomena, are anicca, impermanent, dukkha, unsatisfactory, and anatta, non-self. And this wisdom makes our faith stronger in the teachings of the Buddha. So on the last day of this year, we contemplate that all through this year, we may have made some mistakes in our actions of body and speech, or we haven't been able to control our thoughts all the time. we may have made some mistakes in our mind, and the Buddha taught us to have effort and diligence as our foundation. Even the akusala, the unwholesome mental states that we call papa, bad or demeritorious, which arises in the heart, is normal, so don't suffer and get anxious over it. And don't have the feeling that we don't want our heart to have any bad at all. These thoughts are wrong. When we know that the thoughts that are bad are demeritorious and the good thoughts are meritorious, then demanding our mind to just think only good thoughts isn't possible. So the effort to abandon is important. When the bad arises in the heart, then try to let it go. Don't get angry or hate our own minds. Know that this is normal. When we see the drawbacks of bad thoughts, it's not that these thoughts will be gone completely. It takes time. So we try to develop mindfulness to know that the bad things are arising in our hearts, and we try to abandon them. Or even more so, if it arises in our actions and speech, then we really need to give them up. So be firm in sila, moral conduct. Have honesty and a good heart. So effort is important, and we would have been trying to develop effort all through the year. Effort in giving up the bad and demeritorious, effort in cultivating merit and doing all types of goodness. And we have received peace from our meditation, the peace from samadhi, which will lead wisdom to arise. And we will then understand the right amount in leading our life, in learning, in our experiences, and in our work. If we work too much, then we will get wealth, but the thing we lose out on is time, or our health. This is important to consider, so we need to know moderation in leading our lives. And when we have been born and live in society, then we need to have giving knowledge, giving dana in wealth and possessions, helping those who experience troubles and hardships. We have giving and sharing. But it's not that the receiver only receives. The receiver must give as well, giving through better conduct and actions, being able to look after themselves, and being determined to do good acts to repay those who have given to us. The children who have received from their parents repay this by learning and studying well. The workers who have received a bonus or money from their boss must make the business and their work improve. The monks and novices who have received the 4 requisites from the laity need to be determined to practice and improve their monastic duties. Lay people who have received Dhamma must try to practice to make their minds to be better, in homage to the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. This is Dhamma. If we have Dhamma, then we have Sila Dhamma. We are someone who speaks the truth, does things sincerely, and is someone who is honest, with a good heart of faith. We do not harm one another, and we try to nurture our mindfulness and wisdom to be good and firmly established. And especially when developing samadhi, it is hard. But if we have effort and perseverance, we practice it every day, then one day it will give fruit. Like we may practice by chanting the virtues of the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha 108 times a day. Or we come to the monastery and we may walk around the Chetya 108 times, until the mind is firm in samadhi. So when we have a chance, we regularly practice goodness, and we try to keep maintaining our goodness too. When we have done goodness, then we need to maintain that kusala, wholesomeness, our goodness. Why is this? Because the chance to be born and meet with the teachings of the Samma Sambuddha is not easy at all. Because for a Buddha to be born, to teach the Dhamma, is incredibly difficult, so difficult. And for us to be born as a human is also difficult. and to meet with the teachings of the Buddha is very difficult and troublesome. But when we have this opportunity to be born as a human and to meet with the teachings, then it is our greatest fortune. But if we have no idea of the Dhamma, then the delusion will lead our minds and hearts to be continually born and die in the cycle of samsara without any end. Born and die, born and die, born and die. Whichever life we are born into, we have the feelings of me and mine, and at the end we have to throw it all away. And being born again, we have this feeling again, and we throw it away again. In each life and existence, the Buddha said that we have repeated suffering. So when we have a good opportunity like this, may we try to let go of the bad and demeritorious. We practice merit and purify the mind. Have a lot of mindfulness and be able to promote it to have wisdom. And one day we will understand deeply into the Dhamma, and then we will see the great value of it. We will see the value of the birth that our parents gave to us. We will see the virtue of the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha that has continued the length of the Buddha's dispensation until the present day. We will see the virtues of the great teachers, Venerable Ajahn Mun and Venerable Ajahn Chah, that they practiced until they attained arahantship and took that Dhamma to teach us. And sometimes they gave brief teachings, like, whatever one attaches to, one will suffer from that. It's a short teaching, so we have to train and look into it more. Though we may do good, but if we attach to that goodness and not let go, then it can bring up suffering. So may we build wisdom, the more the better. So on the last day of the year, may I call on the Barami, the spiritual perfections of the Sama Sambuddha, the Dhamma and Sangha, which is the highest refuge for all of us. May we recollect these virtues and make our hearts full of joy, and this is giving our practice as homage, according to the Buddha's wishes. When we give our practice in homage, then we will receive the results of happiness and spiritual progress. When we have Sila Dhamma, then we can be far from all sicknesses and pain. May we be firmly established in virtue and goodness, in Dana, Sila and Bhavana. May you and your family have happiness all through the year 2023. May you have good health and strength, have a well-established mind, imbued with the 4 sublime abidings, have metta, goodwill and compassion for each other, and not harming one another from our actions and speech. May you be determined in this for your own benefit and the benefit of others. May all your hearts be complete with happiness, ease and blessings.